And we're live. Hello. I have very dirty glasses. I'm going to just take a second here. Oh my goodness. Hi. It took me a minute to get here today. Good Lord. So I was helping a friend and completely lost track of time and raced home and wanted to just put myself together a little bit. And so here I am. Hello, Super Blue. Hi, everybody. I love that you're jumping on. I'm really sorry that I am late. Hi, Aaron and Josh and Team Batman and TKD Bar and WWE Motors and Pied Piper. Hi, everybody. You're so awesome. Oh my God. Yeah, Clear Records. Hey, my friend. Oh, Solidus Osiris. And Turtle and Miller. I love it. You guys, thank you so much for joining me today. And June Bud. Hi. Man. Okay, so I tried to hi Vidal. Hi, sweetheart. I tried to come here yesterday, and last week, and hang out with you guys. Last week, holy moly, really, really rough. So you guys, anybody who's been listening to me for a while, a lot of times, and I'm going to try to see if I can get through this without actually crying. But a lot of times you'll hear like little tip, tap, 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 tap footsteps, which is my dog Ollie. And Ollie passed away last Friday morning. And it was hell all week. It was, you're trying to make sure that you are making the right choice. It seems like these little guys, they do this thing where like they seem like they're dying and then they rally and then you're like, oh, maybe he's fine. And then they're not fine. And then it's like, oh gosh, I waited too long. And, I talked to friends who were like, don't wait too long. Like, help them. And so I did that, and it was rough. It was so rough. I feel like my dog was my spirit animal. And I know that like we all have people and animals in our lives that mean so much to us, and Ollie was definitely my sweet spirit animal. And he's my first dog. Like I had him for 16 years. I think he was about 17 years old. And the dog that I grew up with, I was out of the house and into my life. I was living in New York, and I was, on my own. And while I was very sad that he had left the planet, I wasn't there. And so for Ollie, I have really been just doing hospice for a while and really wanting to be there for him. When he first started to kind of break down, when you'd start having accidents around the house or things would happen, and I'd get a little cross with him, and my husband said, hey, wait a second, you have to understand, like, this is part of the bargain. Part of the bargain is that he is going to get old, he's going to break down, there's going to be a lot of messes around the house, there's going to be inconveniences, and that's when you need to really show up and love him the way that he loved you. And I was like, it was just such a revelation to me, that because I hadn't experienced that with the dog I grew up with, and I wasn't there for the end, and I wasn't there to see what that's like and feel what that's like. And so I heard that, and I wanted to make sure that I really did honor his last years, and then of course his last weeks, and then his last days and his last hours. And I love the way my dog saw me. Like, he saw me the way that I wish that I saw myself. He just saw me as like a great person. And no matter if I was having a bad day or if I was being, testy or bitchy or surly or stressed out, like, he loved me absolutely unconditionally. And I feel like I'm going to miss the eyes through which I got to experience him experiencing me, like that really deep, unconditional love. And I thought, I'm going to miss that. But to honor him, like, wouldn't it be a nice gift to see myself in that light? To honor how he saw me, because he was so enlightened. He's far more enlightened than me. And then I thought, I want to be like him. Unconditional, like, to everybody. He was just, there were very few people that my dog did not like. And if he didn't like somebody, boy, I paid attention, because there was something about that person that I needed to be very wary and careful of. And he was just kindness and joy and unconditional. And everything was his favorite thing. Like, I used to, and there's a point to this, I promise, just going on about my dog, but he really was my greatest teacher. Like, everything was his favorite thing. Like, oh, we're going in the car. That's my favorite thing. Oh, we're going to go sit on the couch and cuddle. That's my favorite thing. We're going on a walk. That's my favorite thing. Let's go upstairs. That's my favorite thing. Let's, oh, we're cooking. We're going to go on it didn't matter. Oh, somebody's come over. That's my favorite thing, to go greet people. Everything was his favorite thing. He was so present. He was so in the moment. He so savored and enjoyed life. And I thought, oh my gosh, I just want to be like him. I want to savor everything. I want to love unconditionally. I want to be generous and kind and present and throw myself into my life completely. And he just taught me so much. And as a way to honor him, I think that being more like him, like being the person that my dog saw me as. And so it kind of took me down this little rabbit hole of like, well, what are the things that are stopping me from being that person? And I think that there's a couple of things. One is when I'm fearful, when I'm in my head. And now I've learned that, like, fear is, I'm fearful when either I am projecting into the future something kind of scary, like I'm writing a story about the future that does not feel good, or I'm living in the past and I'm dragging a story into my present moment with me that kind of doesn't have any place there. Does that make sense? And that when I am in the present moment, and I know I talk about this all the time, but when I am in, as Joe Dispenza says, the elegant present moment, like you can't, it's just the safest place to be. It really is. Like, you might be really afraid or feeling stressed or feeling sad, but a lot of times it's because we're running stories in our heads. I'm running a story, like, what's generating this sadness? Can I just like be in this moment with myself, holding my own hand and loving myself through this feeling? And somebody just said Barbara Streisand cloned her dog twice. Do you know that was suggested to me? He's such a great dog. I mean, he is worthy of cloning. But I think I'm just gonna let go. But when I just am with myself and allowing myself to just be where I am without judging myself too harshly, just I am where I am. And can I be compassionate and loving like my dog, who never, ever, not one time that I was ever aware of, did my dog judge me. But I judge all the time. I judge myself. I judge other people. I judge situations. I judge the weather. I judge temperature. I judge all kinds of things. And I think that there is a difference. Like, there are things we should judge for sure. Like, but I think, okay, so let me back it up. There is a difference between judgment. So judgment, when you think of the word judgment, it's kind of heavy. When I think of the word discernment, it feels lighter. It feels like discernment is more beneficial, helpful, and has a better scope of truth than judgment. Judgment is based on, for me, I notice it's always about separation. It's about me judging you, probably not liking something about you, not liking something about something, versus when I'm discerning something, like discerning, is this a good choice for me? Is this a good idea? Is this what I want? Is this what I need? Is this discerning? Is that person honest? It's like it gives me a little bit more space and wisdom versus judgment. I think discernment comes from a connection to your heart and head, whereas judgment just comes from my head, which leaves my heart out of it, which would then make me not like a dog at all. And I think that's the thing about dogs, is they just love. They just love. It's just an endless, daily, 24-hour love fest. And I don't want to miss that. Like, even as I'm grieving, and I am grieving, there's just, it just hits me out of nowhere. And I don't want to miss the joy that life has for me as well. Hey, Jamie. Hi, buddy. And I don't want to miss the grief either. Because when you love a lot, you love a lot. And I'm a ferocious lover. If I love you, I'm going to love you ferociously. And so I figure this is getting me ready. I know I have some losses coming up. I am very fortunate that my parents are still alive. And they won't be for always. And I will lose them, and I will lose friends, and I will lose family, and I will, I've actually had very little loss in my life. certainly compared with so many friends of mine that I have and love and that I've been with them through their losses. And it is part of the passage of life, and it's something that we have to honor and respect and give a wide berth to. And so my dog sort of stepped up and said, "Here, practice on me." And yet another beautifully selfless way that he lived his life. And I think that, now as we're winding down this year and there has been so much loss in it and change in it and uncertainty in it, that this loss is encouraging me to get ready because I'm going to drop an F-bomb, the fuck down. Just slow down. Take in these today is the 15th of December. So 10 days till Christmas, 15 days, 16 days to the end of the year. No, that's wrong. I'm not going to count right now. It's 10, 20, 30. So, it's like, yeah, it's 16 days to the end of the year. I've got that wrong. I know I have that wrong. Numbers. But we're almost at the end of the year. And this is always when I start to take stock. And I look back and I go, what did I love about this year? What were the wins? What were the things that I loved? And what were, the things that maybe I can improve on? I know what my places of improvement are. I go from happy to stressed to angry really, really fast. And I need to work on that. I need to work on breathing and allowing myself to just calm down, take a breath, be kind to the people around me, and then proceed from there. Like, don't react, respond. I have to keep working on my sleep. Who here is a great sleeper? If you are, please drop tips. Please drop better sleeping tips. I know I need to start cutting back on my coffee. That might help. Certainly, it's putting down all electronic devices at least an hour before bed. I know I talk about it all the time. And hi guys, God, I love you guys so much. But it's when I'm meditating, I'm a better sleeper. When I'm moving my body, I'm a better sleeper. When I'm eating a healthier diet, I'm a better sleeper. I've learned that if I don't drink a lot of water, I'm in trouble. It's no good for my skin, my joints, my bones, my body. I need water, and I seem to need more water than ever. I'm a sound sleeper. It astounds people. I love it. Use CBD for sleep. Yeah, CBD is great. I actually have some gummy CBDs, and I love you guys. But I'm always looking for ways to sleep better, to eat better, to just basically take care of myself even better. I want to go into 2022 really grounded and really committed to my well-being and committed to the well-being of the people around me. And that's going to look really different. There is no one way to be. There is no, this is the way, this is the right way, this is the path. Everybody has their own unique path, You have your own unique path. And most of us don't honor what that is. I had something happen last week. I was supposed to fly back to Los Angeles, and right after Ollie passed. And, I wanted to see my children and I wanted to see some friends. And my body was just saying, you need to stay put. You are in grief. You don't need to get on airplanes. You just need to slow down and take care of yourself. And I am very good, for the most part, listening to my intuition, and it rarely fails me. And it only fails me when I don't listen to it. And I was having a conversation with a friend of mine and saying, everything in myself is saying, don't go, stay put. And then my mind is trying to talk me out of it to go, because there's so many good reasons to go and see the people I love, especially my children. And when I finally said, this is your intuition, this thing that you are committed to following, that you have been saying, it is one of my superpowers. It never steers me wrong. And here you are fighting with your intuition. And then I got a phone call from my mom saying, hey, the kids are coming to my house in January. I was like, okay, great. And then I can see them in January, and I can stay put and do what I need to do to take care of myself. And it was yet another time when I was gonna fight my intuition and not do what I needed to do. So I'm gonna keep working on that. I encourage everybody to really work on that and to start listening to yourself. What does your gut tell you? What are your insides telling you? And do you listen to them? It takes practice, because the thing about intuition is that it a lot of times doesn't mean, it doesn't make sense. It tends to be a little wonky, and it tends to not always go along with the plans of other people. And that you will risk disappointing people. You will risk making people angry. You will have to take a risk to follow your intuition. And I think that we are at a point where we all have to follow our own inner compass and our own inner guidance and our own personal truth, because it is so valid. It is so valid, and it is so important. And the other side of that is that it is going to be completely different from somebody else's. And my truth is not necessarily your truth. And to allow people their own truth. Can I live my truth while allowing your truth? There is the esoteric jujitsu trick. My truth doesn't need your agreement. It's just my truth. So your truth, I would say, doesn't need my agreement. And if we are both doing our thing, can we just do it harmoniously with each other? I think that would be the big holiday gift that we could give. We are in a world that is so insane right now, and so divided, and so polarized, and so challenging, and so, we're all living it. And I'm going to do my very best to honor your path while I'm honoring my own, which is what my dog would do. He just honored my path and fully was himself and loved me no matter what. And I want to be more like a dog, or more like a cat, or more like an animal, and more like the highest version of my greatest self. And I think that if I could do that for the rest of my days, that would be a pretty cool gift to give the world and everybody that I get to meet in it. All of you amazing people. I gotta tell you, I read your comments and I love you guys so much. You are the smartest, wisest, funniest, most unique, insanely beautiful group of people. And I am beyond honored and delighted that you would even show up here to hear me go on. And it's a joy. It's a joy. And you are all such beautiful lights in the world. And please just keep being a beautiful light in the world. Now more than ever, we need beautiful lights in the world. All different, all unique, all individual. It's like a smorgasbord of deliciousness, every one of them. And if there's something you don't like, don't eat it. Don't put it on your plate, but don't ban it from the table. I love you guys so much. I am going to do my best to be here throughout the rest of the year, and we'll just see how that goes. Because apparently life is on a need-to-know basis. And so, you know, if you are so inclined, go ahead and subscribe, because I'll put a little, I always drop a little something either the day before or day of that I'm going to show up. And don't feel like you gotta, you know, you don't want to subscribe, cool. That it's not like it's a sales pitch here. It's just if you don't want to miss it live, and it's always on a replay. And I'm just gonna say I love you guys, and I'm a sign off now. Thank you so much for just being with me. It feels really good to my tender little heart that is a little bit broken. All right, I love you. Who's here? Jonathan and Super Blue and Mike and P, Fiera and AJ and Darth Machio and Raging Entertainment and Terry Knuckles and Mindy C and Turtle and Miller and Jamie Brown-Eyed Schemer and Brandon Rudder and Peter Sleep. Hi, Peter. And I love you all. And Jamie. Hi, Jamie! I love you guys. And Junebug. Oh, you guys are great. All right. I will see you next week. Bye, you guys.